Hello, today I am telling you about the terrible event that happened to me. Don't forget to write in the comments where you watched it. Now let's move on to the story. I don't talk about this memory often. Even now, as a grown woman in my late 40s, the moment I think about it, something tightens in my chest. Not fear, exactly, more like a quiet echo of something I felt a long time ago, when I was small enough to still believe that the world beneath my feet was simple and harmless. Back then, I lived with my grandmother in an old wooden house. The kind of house that creaked even in the calmest weather, like it had its own way of speaking. My grandmother used to laugh and tell me it was just settling into itself, but even as a child, I knew the sounds coming from under our floor were too intentional. I remember one evening especially well. The sun had just set, and the long hallway of the house looked darker than usual. I was sitting on the rug in the living room, playing with my old wooden blocks, arranging them in little crooked towers, when I heard it again. A soft tapping from beneath the floorboards, like someone lightly knocking from the other side. I froze. I wasn't frightened yet, not really. At that age, you're curious before you're scared. So I leaned closer to the floor, putting my ear near the wooden boards. There was breathing. Slow, steady, almost calm. And then, just as I started to pull away, a voice, soft, whispery, like someone trying not to startle me. Hello. I shot up so fast my head spun. I remember whispering, "Grandma," even though I knew she was in the kitchen. The voice had come from right below me, from the thin space between our living room and the cold earth underneath. I didn't want to call out again. The voice hadn't sounded angry or harmful, just tired. Gentle, even. So instead, I crouched back down, my trembling fingers resting on the floor. "Who's there?" I whispered. For a long moment, there was nothing. Only the familiar creaking of the house shifting. And then, the voice returned. "Don't be afraid. I've been here a long time." At that age, the idea of someone being there a long time didn't sound as concerning as it does now. I didn't imagine anything frightening. I just imagined someone lonely. Someone who wanted to talk. The voice asked me my name. It asked if I liked living there. It asked if I liked the sound of rain on the roof. Strange questions, but harmless enough, and the way it spoke to me, respectfully, almost warmly. Like I mattered. I remember feeling something unusual then, a quiet connection I couldn't explain. The sort of feeling you get when someone truly listens to you. Eventually, the conversation faded. The voice grew softer, as though slipping deeper underground. And then, silence. My grandmother found me sitting in the middle of the living room, staring at the floor. When I told her what happened, she didn't look shocked. She didn't laugh. She just placed a hand on my shoulder and said, "Sometimes old houses remember things we don't." She never explained what she meant, and I stopped asking. But after that day, every small creak of the floorboards felt different to me, not frightening, just meaningful. Like the house was trying to speak in a language only children understood. Years passed. I grew up, moved away, built a life of my own. But every now and then, especially on quiet nights when the wind nudges the windows, I hear that same gentle knock deep in my memory. And I wonder if the voice was ever real, or if it was something else entirely, something that appeared only because a lonely child needed someone to talk to. Whatever it was, it shaped me. It taught me to listen closely to the world. To the soft sounds beneath everyday noise. To the hidden stories in places we don't think to look. And maybe that's why I'm telling this now. Not to frighten anyone, but to share something that stayed with me, long after I outgrew that old creaking house. Something that still whispers in its own quiet way, reminding me that not everything mysterious is meant to harm us. Some things simply want to be heard. If you want the continuation, just tell me.